everybody. Welcome to Ben Wilson Senior Activity Center's first class for this semester. Today, I'm going to cover how to make an emergency call with your Android and your Apple phone. There's a lot of information in this presentation. Those people that I have on my reminder list will get a PDF file of this presentation. With that, you can read it at home, go to the links that are in this presentation, and another little feature is right up here, read aloud. So if you have a little problems reading from your, I asked you to do not disturb, Ted. If you have a little problems reading out loud from the computer, it will read to you, which is what I'm going to do during this class for the first 2 pages. I'm going to go to read aloud, and it can be paused. When I press read aloud, they'll give the option to pause. Any questions before I start? No. Okay. And as I said earlier, any questions are welcome.
How to make an emergency call with your Android phone. The smartphone in your pocket is more than just a device for communication or entertainment. When used correctly, it's a tool that can provide a lifeline in emergencies. One of Android device's most critical safety features is Emergency SOS. This lets you quickly call emergency services without wasting time navigating your phone's interface. You hope you never have to do it, but someday you might.
I just want to say I will be showing several videos during this presentation because I find it's eye-ear coordination helps more than just reading. And the other thing is what it says at the bottom in yellow is that it may not be the same on your phone as what I have even on the written instructions. So I'll read that. I would say Siri will read that to you in a minute.
Making a call to your local emergency services. In case of an emergency, your smartphone is the best tool to call for help, and with some preparation now, you'll be ready to make a call quickly if an emergency arises. It may also be a good idea to memorize these steps, so you won't have to think twice during a fast-moving situation. We all know about dialing 911 directly, yet there are a couple ways to make it even faster and more convenient right from your home or locked screen, which can be especially helpful in an emergency. Please be aware that smartphones are like people. They may look a lot alike, but do things different. So, if you have problems setting up your phone for in case of emergency, ICE, come to one of our Wednesday help sessions. These features make...
All right, I just realized, is that going too fast? I can slow her down.
No.
Everybody's okay? Over here, if you do, hi Jean Marie.
Hello.
You have a phone on you?
Yeah, I'll take it
Please
off.
put it on do not disturb or airplane.
Yes, ma'am. Hi,
Thank
Ted.
you.
Hello.
Over here it says voice options. That's where you can pick the speed of the reader, and you can pick whether it's a man or a woman, whatever you'd like, whatever you prefer. Okay, so I'm going to continue on.
These features may vary by device and region, and newer devices may have additional safety and emergency features. We recommend referring to your device's user guide or the manufacturer's website for the most accurate and current information. Other emergency and safety features. Besides SOS, here are a few other emergency and safety features you can use on your Android device. Medical info. You can record your allergies, current medications, and other medical information. This information is then visible from the lock screen without unlocking the phone, which can be helpful for first responders if you're unable to communicate.
Yeah, so like I was talking with the lady here earlier, I'm O negative. And if I'm in a car accident and I can't communicate, they can go to the lock screen of my phone, and I haven't set it up yet because I was going to show this after this presentation. I'm going to show to the class here how it's set up on my phone, but I didn't put my medications and my blood type on my phone yet. I'm going to do that today because it's personal information. So it's really a good idea to put in your medical information. And next it's going to talk about location services. You have to make sure your phone is set to GPS to know where you are, location, okay? We'll go back to letting her read to us.
Communicate. Location service. When you call or text an emergency number or activate SOS, your device can automatically send its location to the emergency responders. This feature isn't available in every region, but can help others find you. Car crash detection. Some Android devices also have a car crash detection feature, which can call 911 automatically if the phone detects that you've been in a car accident.
Now, I didn't know that. Did anybody else know that?
What, not from your phone, your
Well, some phones have it.
cars.
And some cars have it.
Yeah, cars
Yeah, some
have.
cars have it, yeah.
Yeah.
But check your phone, and as I said earlier, if you need help, we can help you here on a Wednesday by appointment, and we can set it up for you to get your location set, your car crash if it is, and emergency alerts. So we can help you set it up if you're having any problems. These videos might help you, they might confuse you a little, but maybe watch them a few times and try. What I'm going to suggest is when you get the PDF at home, if you have a computer at home, open that up and go to the PDF on the computer. Then follow along on your phone, whatever procedure that works for your phone. Okay, any questions before I continue? Okay.
Emergency alerts. Your device can receive and display alerts for severe weather, missing persons, amber alerts, earthquakes, and other emergencies. You can usually manage these settings in the Apps and Notifications section of the Settings menu.
Now I'm going to read this other stuff to you, because if I don't and Siri, or not, excuse me, AI reads it to you, it's going to read that whole hypertext. So, and I just want to click on the hypertext. So these couple of pages I'm just going to read to you. How to make your phone easy for it to be returned to you and trigger an emergency SOS on your Galaxy smartphone. It's not only on, he also, this video, the guy has an accent, talks a little low. If you need me to pause it and repeat what he said, we can do that. But it's very good information that he's giving. He's an officer, I think, in England, and when they get phones turned in, they can actually call the owner, or not the owner, somebody that's on their ICE. ICE means in case of emergency. And I would say when you set up your phone for a list of people to contact in case of an emergency, I list my family, ICE1, my husband, ICE2, my son in New York, and so on and so forth. This way, if and when EMS has your phone, they know these are your contacts for sure. They're ICE. Anyway, so now this guy, I'll play it. If you're looking at this on your computer at home, you get that little, you can't hardly see it, but there's a little finger pointing on my screen. It's big. But when you get that little finger point, hold the shift key and then press, and it will open the website for you where excuse the commercials.
My name is Dr. Tara Graff, and I feel that CalQuest is an excellent option.
Every day, Garda Síochána comes into possession.
I'll put it a little louder.
Public handling phones at the Garda station are recovering as a result of searches. Unfortunately, because of the lack of information contained on the phones, we find it extremely difficult to return these phones. So what we're asking is you to help us help you. We're in Garda station today, and in front of me is a selection of mobile phones that Garda Síochána have come into possession of for January and February alone this year. Each of these smartphones have functions on them which allow you to track your device and also install emergency contacts on the device, which will help us return your phone to you. So today today we're going to show you how to set that up on your phone.
So now this is how to set it up, emergency contacts on your Android phone. But what I said earlier is, if your phone is turned into the police, they know to go to emergency. If you have contact lists on your phone, they can call your contacts and say, hey, we found your phone, we have your phone here. So that's a way that your phone can be tracked. I do have another way that I'm going to do a class on in the future, where if you lose your phone, you can actually go on your computer and say, find my phone, and it will, if location's turned on, will tell you where it is. Okay. Is anybody having a lot of problems hearing this man? Oh, good. Okay.
We are now going to show you how to set up emergency contacts on an Android phone. When we swipe up the screen and press the emergency call, you can see that there's no emergency information in the phone. We are now going to show you how to set this up. In order to set up emergency contacts, you go into Contacts, you press the three buttons up on the top right corner, you go into Groups, you then press Emergency Contacts. ICE means in case of emergency. You then press the Edit button, and you then press Add Members. You can add whatever contacts in your phone that you feel should be contacted in a case.
Actually, you really don't have to do groups. I didn't do groups. I just said, instead of having my husband, just my husband's name, I went ICE1, and then I had his name. And I didn't make it a group, because when it comes up in case of emergency, it comes up as ICE. So, and here's where I'm saying, if you want to follow these instructions on your iPhone, open up a computer and follow it, pause it, and go back if you have to. But this is the way you could do it at home. But if you still have trouble and need help, we'll help you.
It's an emergency. You then press Done and Save. When I go to the lock screen and press Emergency Call, you can now see the emergency contacts you've selected. We can contact these people to get your phone back to you. These contacts can also be used by other emergency services in the case of an emergency. We are now going to show you how to set up emergency contacts on an iPhone. When I press the on-off button and the volume up and down key, swipe medical ID and scroll down, I can see that there's no emergency contact in the phone. We are now going to show you how to set this up. With the settings, scroll down to Health, press Health, go into Medical ID, press Edit, scroll down to Emergency Contacts, press Emergency Contacts, and select Adam. Adam is my brother. I press Done. Now, when I select the medical ID key, scroll down, I can see that Adam is my emergency contacts. The emergency setting is a handy way for Garda Síochána, when we come in possession of your phone, to be able to get it back to you as soon as possible.
Now, I hit the escape button, and I just close it, and then back to the PDF presentation. Okay? So that's how you can do it at home if you want to watch any of these videos. All right, so now the next one. This guy on, I think he's on CBS, but he's also on 69 News. It's called What the Tech. And he has some really good information that I've been collecting. So there's two of them, and he shows things a little different in each one. So if you have an Android, or if you have a phone and that other video didn't help, maybe one of these will help. So now I'm going to hold the shift and press on max, bring it up, wait for the darn commercial to end.
situation being out and feeling like someone is following you. Kidnappings, carjackings, and armed robberies can happen anywhere at any time, but especially during the holidays as more and more people are leaving shopping malls and stores at night. Your smartphone, though, can save your life. Jamie Tucker takes a look at how you can call 911 for help with just the press of a button.
So it's late at night, you're walking back through a dark parking lot, and you feel someone is watching you. You can call 911 on your smartphone, but just imagine doing that, taking it out of your pocket or purse, dialing the number. Well, there's an easier way. If you have an iPhone or an Apple Watch, you can call for help without even touching the screen. With an iPhone, use the on-off button. With the iPhone 8, 10, and 11, press it along with the volume button.
Don't do it now, you might call emergency.
For iPhone 7 and over, quickly press the on-off button 5 times. Doing this will call up the emergency SOS screen. You can slide the...
Hold on, guys. I can tell you a faster and easier way to do this.
Okay.
At the end, I'm going to show that to you. So don't, you
button
watch
to make
it,
the
just be
emergency
aware.
call.
Oh,
Just continue to hold...
one more thing that I have to tell you is that my classes are designed to teach you exactly how to do things, but that you can do them to make you aware of things you can do with your computer and your smartphone. Thanks, Ted.
Down the buttons, it'll sound a very loud alarm and call 911. It works on the Apple Watch too. Just press the bottom button, not the ground. If you continue holding it down, it will call 911 in 5 seconds. Don't test it because the call will go through. On Android devices, there are a couple of options depending on which phone you have. If you've got a passcode on your lock screen, just slide up to see a button to make an emergency call. You'll have to touch your screen, but it's still a lot faster than unlocking your phone and opening the phone app. Heaven forbid you ever have to use that feature, but it's nice to know that you can. And tell the kids, that's what the tech. I'm Jamie Tucker.
She has
Many
something
users
to
have
say.
reported that they've contacted emergency 911 services by accident with the iPhone and Apple Watch feature. Now, police say if you do accidentally activate the SOS feature, to stay on the line and answer the dispatcher's questions. Otherwise, they're just going to call you again.
Okay, now I hit the escape button, and now I can close that website. So I'm now showing you how you can do this at home if you wish. All right, so that was interesting. And if you did, by mistake, call 911, just stay on the line and explain you accidentally did it. And that's another thing I'm going to show you what it says underneath, and I'll show that to you now. I got the finger pointing, I'm holding shift, and I'm pressing for the next one. Okay, oh, this guy just has, this one's no commercial.
When you see the northern lights in Canada,
No, I guess
they'll
there is.
speak to you.
You know, scientists say I'm caused by...
Oh, pish posh. That's not what I wanted. All right,
Skip up at the top.
thank you, I see it now.
If you're ever in a scary situation, your smartphone can be the difference between life and death. Now, dialing 911 only takes a few seconds, but what if you don't have time to make a call, or maybe you don't want someone knowing you're calling for help?
Pressing
Jamie Tucker
to make it pick.
has more.
There it is. Oh, right. Okay.
And this is an emergency feature that a lot of people don't know about, and even those that do have never set it up. But it will call 911 for you, alert your family and friends that you need help, and it will lead them or police right to you. It's called Emergency SOS.
I know this is a lot of repetition, but sometimes we need a little repetition to learn things. And like I said, each one of these videos shows different things, different ways. So working in special ed for many years, I know you sometimes have to teach people different things in different ways.
Yes. On an iPhone, quickly press the side button 5 times, or simultaneously hold down the side button and a volume button for 5 seconds. When the timer hits 3, the phone sounds an alarm that just might scare away someone threatening you. When the timer hits 0, the phone dials the nearest.
I'm not sure if he says it in this video, but in one of the videos, when you go into settings and set up emergency call, you can turn off that alarm. Because we've seen in the news situations where people didn't want that alarm to go off. They wanted to make a silent call. So think about that when you set up your phone.
911 call center. It'll also notify everyone in your emergency contacts that you called for help. In settings, select Emergency SOS. Make sure this toggle, Call with 5 presses, is turned on. And add emergency contacts to your list. They'll receive your location on a map, which will be updated if you change locations. The alarm sound can be turned off in settings if you'd rather have that option to call 911 without alerting anyone around you. Emergency SOS also works on the Apple Watch. By holding down the bottom side button for a few seconds, you will need to be able to swipe this slider to the right. On an Android phone, you'll find Safety and Emergency under Settings. If not, look for it under Advanced.
See now, my phone, it's under Safety and Emergency. It's not in Advanced.
Features. Press the power key 3 times quickly to contact 911 and message your emergency contact. Set up your emergency contacts on an Android phone in Safety Settings. This is a feature everyone should have set up on their phone. Remember, you can test this to see if it works, but if you do, make sure you hit cancel because it will call 911. That's What the Tech. I'm Jamie Tucker.
I know that was repetition, but...
Save up to 73% on your electric bill when you upgrade to it.
Okay, it's repetition, but he mentioned a couple of things in this video that he didn't mention in the previous one. Okay, you might want to view one of or all of these videos on your home computer and follow along on your smartphone. After this class, I can show you how I have set up Safety and Emergency on my Android phone. By the way, warning, do not press emergency sharing when in Safety and Emergency. It will send SOS to everyone on your contact list. And I know that for a fact, because I did it. So, yeah, just be aware that that might happen. Okay, I'm going to read. Emergency SOS is a feature built into new iPhones that allow you to make an emergency call almost instantly, pressing 2 buttons simultaneously on your phone. To use this feature, make sure you are running iOS 11 or later, and later than 15, or it's later than 15. So you probably are, but read. So you can do this at home if you have an iPhone. How to make emergency calls. Now, you can read that stuff at home. But this next one is new and very good. It would have been very good for the people in Maui.
Yeah.
Because what it does is if you're in, you have to be out of a building where you can connect to a satellite. And it will connect to a satellite rather than to your internet service provider. And it will, you can message back and forth to 911, to emergency. So I'll play this one for you. I've been collecting
Storms will come
information
and storms will go.
for several
You can trust
months.
that Eden Roofing and Exteriors is there for you. A professionally trained team of experts
see
has trusted
Sia.
relationships with insurance companies to give you the customer service you deserve. Call Eden Roofing and Exteriors today.
Right by your,
For the
Just to the
iPhone,
right
it's
of
calling
that,
911
yeah.
possible using satellites.
All right, well, anyway.
It's already saved the lives of hikers.
Come on, I'm trying to enlarge it. There we go. That's it.
Accident victims and more. Recently, victims caught in the Hawaii wildfires. Our consumer technology reporter, Jamie Tucker, shows us how it works in this week's What the Tech.
There are many different ways you can contact 911 from a smartphone. This is for when there are no cell towers around or when they're all down. Here's how to set it up. When you try to call 911 and the call doesn't go through because there are no cell towers, the iPhone 14 will tell you to start a satellite connection to contact emergency services. Apple has a demo on this page. You'll be asked to give the phone's compass permission to see your exact location. The phone will search the sky for a satellite and make the connection to 911.
Just in case you didn't know, it's only on iPhones, was it 14 and over, okay?
That's pretty new.
Yeah, it is very new.
You'll receive text messages asking for what happened and an approximate location. And if someone is injured, text messages will offer help on how to treat them until help arrives. In addition to sending location information and details to first responders, Apple's emergency service will automatically contact your emergency contacts, provided you've set it up. To do that, go into the Health app, Settings, and Medical ID. Add emergency contacts and their phone numbers. While you're at it, enter any medical conditions and medications. This helps responders quickly gather essential information if you're unable to respond. And this only works on iPhone 14 and future iPhones and iOS 16 and later. And if you haven't already done it, set up your emergency contacts in Settings. That way, if something happens to you and you need help, you can notify your family and friends with just a click of a button. That's What the Tech. I'm Jamie Tucker.
Okay. Save and close the website. All right, that is really neat. But does Android have satellite SOS feature? Android phones will soon get iPhone-like SOS satellite texting. But you'll need an Android phone with Qualcomm top Snapdragon chip, which is a piece of hardware. It's not in the old Android phones. It will be in the new, this feature, and with the emergency messaging, should be available in premium Android phones in selected regions during the second half of 2023. So that's the answer. Android does not have that yet. Now, here's a neat thing. With all this thing, pressing the button and all, I believe this will work even better and easier. And if you, well, he'll explain. It's a short video from Sunday morning, CBS's Sunday morning show.
You know about Hey Siri and OK Google, right? You can use these commands to trigger your voice assistant on modern phones without even using your hands. Like, hey Siri, how many ounces in a gallon?
1 gallon is 128 fluid ounces.
Okay, but you have to have it set up on your phone. Okay, with your Android phone, it has to be Google Assistance. It has to be set up. In Android, Apple, I'm not sure if Siri has to be set up. I'm not as versed at Apple, but if it's not set up, you have to have it set up because it's not going to listen to you and respond back to you. So, just a side note.
What's interesting is you can actually make phone calls this way, which is handy if your arms are full or if you've fallen and you can't get up. The only problem is, although you can place a call by voice, how are you going to hear what the other person's saying?
I had a friend that she fell in her bathroom and she just couldn't move. She was stuck there for 3 days.
Oh, my goodness.
I would suggest whenever you're home alone or you're traveling alone, make sure your phone is close to you, okay? I even take it in the bathroom when I take a shower because if I slip and fall, you can do this.
What you really need is a way to turn on the speakerphone by voice. Well, let's see. Hey Siri, call Stacy on speakerphone.
Calling Stacy Mello on speaker.
Same exact thing on most recent Android phones. You can say, okay Google, call mom on speakerphone. Hassle-free and hands-free.
That's good to know.
Okay, and I tested it out. Oh, pish posh, I closed. I don't know why that happened. All right. Anyway, I tested it out with my phone and I called my husband. I could do it now, but I'm not going to do it. I just called him up by saying, hey, Google, call Nick. And I'm driving. I didn't even have to press any buttons, touch anything. It called my husband, and it connected to my car's speakers through Bluetooth. So there's a great hands-free way to communicate make phone calls on in your car, especially if you have a newer car that does connect your phone with Bluetooth. Okay, now this is information, more information, but if you want to look this over when I send out the PDF, you're welcome to do that. There's more information to absorb, okay? This is written instructions. I'm doing it on an Android phone. And now, because this class was supposed to be Q&A, question and answer, in the past I've done these classes and I said to people, well, what do you want to know? Everything. Well, that doesn't help me. And I did send out people to ask me questions that they'd like me to cover. I did get several people that did send out questions. But also, I said, this is some of this new information. I want to be able to share it with you because it's important to know. So I figured this is a good class to do during this Q&A. Okay. Also, CBS Sunday Morning did these two presentations, videos, and I thought they were very helpful. The first one is helpful in a serious way. The other one is in a humorous way, and I thought it would be nice to end this presentation in a humorous way. Okay, so the pointer's on the hypertext, my finger's on shift, open it up, and commercial. Now,
What was the first thing you said?
oh, and you
Is
have,
endurance. Endurance saves me more than $7,000. Without endurance,
Oh, yes,
breakdowns can cost thousands.
first thing, if you want to go to the hypertext on the PDF that you're going to be getting to your email, you just put your pointer on the hypertext. It turns into a little pointing finger. Then put your pointing finger on the shift button on the left-hand side. Unless you're a lefty, then you switch it. But anyway, you hold the shift down and then press the left button on your mouse. And that will take you right to this website, or any of the websites that I have hyperlinks for.
With endurance, you're covered.
Endurance covers nearly every car on the road. Plus,
You pick the mechanic
There's
you
no choice
trust.
to get
acts
rid
now
of
for
this
$300
one.
off any plan, plus
Not
a year
this
of
one.
elite benefits and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Call 1-855 now.
Oh, yeah, you might have to go
Phone
find
call or
that.
text that seems like the real thing, only it's a scam. And they're getting ever more sophisticated. If you're smart or lucky, you don't get fooled, but many of us do, and it's costing billions, as our David Pogue discovered.
One evening, I got an email.
One day last year, Jeff Pliskin opened an email that looked like it came from a good friend of his.
He was trying to buy a gift card for his niece, and that his card was being rejected, and could I please make the purchase, and that he would be happy to just completely reimburse me. So I did it, and then he wrote back a little while later saying, unfortunately, I wanted to gift her this so that she could buy a particular item, but this is not enough to buy the item. Could you do another $200?
By the time it was over, Pliskin had bought $600 worth of Amazon gift cards and unwittingly sent them to a scammer online.
I'm not sure if they mentioned it in this piece, but one of the biggest ways scammers get their money is gift cards. So if you get someone asking for you to buy a gift card, that red flag should be flying high.
Take a screenshot of the number and send it somewhere.
Take a screenshot of the number.
Of of what they're saying. And I got one this morning. It wasn't on my phone, but it was on my computer. And I picked up my phone and took a screenshot of the address. It was from CVS, supposedly, but it didn't look anything like CVS.
Yeah. That brings up something I've brought up in the past. When you get an email that you are pretty sure is spam, okay? Please put it in your spam folder. That's the way your internet service provider knows that it's spam and they're going to start blocking it. If you don't put it in the spam folder and you just delete it, you're not informing them of it. So that's what you should do whenever you get a suspicious. And I tell you, sometimes I put it in spam even if I'm not sure if it's real.
Last year alone, we saw losses in excess of $10.3 billion through over 800,000 complaints. Those are just the ones we heard about.
Mike Driscoll is a cybersecurity consultant. We met him earlier this year when he ran the New York office of the FBI. Is it your impression that scamming is getting more prevalent?
Just based on the numbers we're seeing, the calls we're getting on a regular basis, yes, it is.
In fact, the amount of money Americans lost to scammers more than doubled during the pandemic. People over age 60 lost the most money of all. Why do you think that is?
Okay, he asked and he's going to give answers, but anybody here give me some answers? Why do you think that is?
Too trusting.
Yes.
Too trusting.
Yes, we grew up trusting, and especially authority. So, yeah, that's one of the reasons. And I think he put that in, but
They've got resources that can be exploited. It may be that they're more trusting,
There
and there's
you
an
go.
element where that population is somewhat less tech savvy than perhaps younger people.
There are hundreds of scams. To help you spot the patterns, it's my pleasure to welcome the Sunday morning theatrical players, David Del Grasso and Alicia Spielman. The phishing scam.
Here's an email from my bank. There's a problem with your account.
It is fake. I sent it.
Click here to fix the problem. Okay. Now I will log in.
It is a fake website. Now I have her name and password.
The tech support scam.
This website says there's a problem with my computer. Call this number.
Thank you for calling Microsoft Tech Support. You have a flux capacitance overflow, ma'am. May I take control of your computer to fix it?
Yep.
Permission granted.
Now?
Now you might say, oh, I'd never do that. I know at least one person that has done that and gave them access to his computer, and with that they can go onto websites that have like your bank account, and if you've saved those usernames and passwords, now that you gave them access to your computer as an administrator, he can do that. Never, unless you call for support, never let anybody access your computer.
Because if it's real, they're never going to contact you
Exactly.
without you contacting them. That's
Okay.
for sure.
I will steal all of her information.
The romance scam.
I am widowed or divorced, and I am so lonely. I will use this dating app. He is so handsome.
My profile is fake. That photo is not me.
We talk on the phone. He is charming and attentive.
I have medical and/or legal problems. Will you send me money or gift cards?
Of course, my love.
I saw a piece on some show that The woman was communicating with a guy, I think he was supposed to be in France or Spain, and from a dating app, and he knew everything right to say, and the picture she saw of him, and they talked on the phone even after a while, and they talked about meeting, but she never met him, but she kept sending him money. Yep. And I had a woman stop me a couple of weeks ago, and her friend is communicating with a young man, and this friend of hers is in her 80s, and she's communicating with a young singer, performer, and I'm trying to tell her, this is not him. And even so, why are you communicating with someone you don't even know? She said, I'm so lonely. I want someone to talk to. I said, come to the center. There's plenty of people here to talk to.
And the grandma scam.
Hello?
Grandma?
It's really staticky. Eric, is this you?
Yes, it's Eric. I've been mugged, and I'm overseas, and I need money.
Oh, you poor thing. How much do you need?
Is the end goal of all of these things you giving money to somebody else?
Money or information. And sometimes people discount how much value is in their information. Whether it's your personal identifiers or your healthcare information.
So now you know how you can get scammed. Later on Sunday morning, the 3 golden rules for not getting scammed.
Okay. Escape. Escape will take you out of full screen so that you can get to the X. Okay? So that's how I got to the X on that website. This one is cute. And then we'll go to my phone and I'll show you some things on my phone. Oops, all right, that doesn't matter. I didn't hit this. Push. Okay. Computers are stupid. They only do what you tell them to. I used to tell that to the kids in school, and they used to say, "That's a bad word." No, it depends on how what contacts it's in.
From Sherry's Berries. From our decadent dipped berries.
Oh, yeah. They look tasty, but not good. Not good for you. I used to make those and sell them.
Yeah, me too.
Berries, yeah.
Yeah?
Most of today's online scams originate in organized call centers in India, which are beyond the FBI's jurisdiction.
Thank you for calling support.
But this man...
Okay, I want to tell you about India. We went to India back about 10 years ago and visited with a friend of ours, family and friends, and it was a wonderful trip. And we actually met a young fella that did this. And they were taught how to use different accents. Southern accent, New York accent. So you think you're getting a phone call from somebody in our country, could be India.
It probably is.
And if it's a New York accent, they can fake a 212 area code.
Oh, yeah, so
Yeah.
then it would really look like it was.
Okay.
has found a new way to fight them.
I keep getting messages on the computer.
He goes by the pseudonym Kit Boga.
I tried to bring some entertainment to an
So,
otherwise dark.
if you didn't quite get it because I interrupted, this is a guy who has fun messing with scammers. So I figured this would be fun for you to watch for the last part of this presentation.
In his videos, he spends hours talking to the scammers.
I'll let you take care of it since you're the expert.
My job is to waste as much time as possible with scammers on the phone, so they're not on the phone with somebody else, and then hopefully educate people about how the scam works.
It says certified tech created the directory. You see that?
To fool the scammers, he uses a voice-changing device.
It'll sound something a little bit like this. Hi, sweetheart. How are you?
Sometimes I try to do maybe some sort of I don't even know what kind of accent this is, if I'm gonna be honest. Like, I don't really know. Half the time I just wing it, and try to have fun.
Remember that God is patient too.
His goal is to drag the scammers off of their prepared scripts.
Sometimes I say something like, what do you want your kids to be when they grow up? I bet they want to be just like you. And you can hear the voices breaking. No, I don't want them to be like me.
I want to come out from the dark, but I cannot.
But he's not the only soldier in the scammer wars who's using fake voices. Remember the grandma scam?
I've been mugged, and I'm overseas, and I need money.
Nowadays, an enterprising scammer can create an AI voice clone of your grandson using an app like this. The better to fool you with. Grandma, it's me, David. I've been mugged, and I need money. But according to former FBI Assistant Director Mike Driscoll, even the most sophisticated scam can't work without your cooperation.
There's a term we use when we talk about security in general, physical security, and it's called hardening the target, where you put up gates, you put up locks, you secure the location. You can make yourself a hard target by being smart about what these scams are.
So, how do you harden your target? 3 rules. First, hit pause.
There's always this sense of urgency, and if you don't do this now, you're not going to get that $300 refunded. If you don't do this now, you're going to go to prison or whatever.
That's the thing that they work on most. Scare you in some way. Make you feel panicked.
It is. You can say, like, all right, give me the reference number, but I'm going to talk to a professional. I'm going to get a second opinion.
Rule number 2, every scam begins with scammers contacting you by phone or text message or email or a website pop-up. So, ignore or hang up and contact the real organization yourself.
You're not going to get a call from Google that says, hey, we need to fix your system. Don't take that call, don't take that email. Whatever that organization is, reach out directly to them and verify that.
Let's say I get an email from Amazon that says there's a problem with your order. Click here.
Don't click on it. Go directly to Amazon and enter your information there.
And rule number 3, report the scam right away.
Our ability to get those funds back is very, very limited by time. We have to act very quickly, so reach out immediately. They will freeze what they need to freeze and protect you as much as they can.
Those guidelines could have saved scam victim Jeff Pliskin the money he lost last year. Well, I think you're kind of noble to admit this happened to you.
It's embarrassing, but maybe somebody will see this and say, oh, this is a good thing to watch out for.